Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So, today we continue with the story we were discussing. The title of the story is The Watery Place. It is a science fiction story. It is a science fiction story. It is a story that uses science fiction to narrate the tale. So, science fiction is also usually represented in the short form as sci-fi. Actually, it's the short for science fiction. So here we have aliens visiting the earth, and when the story begins we see the narrator, the who tells us that two aliens have landed near the office of the sheriff. Okay, sheriff, as we said, is the head of that, head of a country, head of a city, and he was busy with his income tax forms, and therefore he did not see the uh, he did not see the flying saucer and the aliens coming in. So the sheriff's name is Bart Cameron, and the aliens, when they came in the flying saucer and landed there, the narrator was so shocked that he was not able to warn the sheriff that there are some visitors from another planet. And when the aliens come inside the office of the sheriff is busy with his income tax forms, and he mistakes the aliens to be foreigners because of their appearance. They actually tell him that they are from a watery place, and they also add that they are from Venus. But unfortunately, he does not listen properly. So when you are busy, okay, when you are busy and when you are irritated, your listening power is affected. You are not able to listen properly to others. So that is why when people quarrel, there is actually no solution, because the people who are quarreling do not listen to each other. So listening is a very important skill. Listening is a very important activity. If we don't listen properly, it can cause many problems in our life. So that is one of the morals of the story also. Though the aliens told him, though the aliens were not hiding anything, they told him that they are from another planet. They also said that this is not their actual appearance. They have changed their appearance, they have learned their language, and they have come here. All these things were already told to the sheriff by the aliens, but the sheriff did not listen because he was an irritable person. At the same time, he was also busy with the income tax forms. So when we concluded the session in the last class, we saw that the sheriff had actually got very angry. So which is that phrase which means that he got very much angry? What phrase indicates that he is very much angry? ഭയങ്കര ദേഷ്യം വന്നു എന്നുള്ള സൂചിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഫ്രേസ് ഏതാണ് അതിൽ നിന്ന്?
Went to pieces.
Exactly. Yes, Nandana, that's right. He went to pieces. Cameron really went to pieces. So he became immensely angry, and he uh, banged the income tax form and shouted. Yelled means shouted. So he asked them to get out of this office, and he said that if they don't go, he will lock them up and they will never be able to go out. So they are very polite in their reply. So they don't get angry like the Sharif. So as I said in the previous class, they Aliens are very advanced creatures. So they are more advanced than human beings, and they are mostly free from most of the negative qualities that human beings have. What are the negative qualities that we have? We have the quality of getting irritable, we have the quality of getting angry. These are all negative qualities. So these aliens are much more advanced and they don't get angry. They only respond in a very soft manner, but they are very strong in their actions. So they ask him, so if you wish us to leave, do you wish us to leave? And Sharif does not reduce his anger even after the alien talks in a very polite language. And he uh, uses abusive language. Okay, abusive language means very bad language, which is not impolite language. Okay, impolite or rude language is abusive language. So he uses abusive language and he says that get the hell out of here. So get the hell out of here is very abusive. It's not something which we normally use in a very uh, polite way. This is very impolite language. So the people looked at each other and making little twitches with their faces. Twitches മുഖത്ത് ചുളിവ് മുഖത്ത് നെറ്റിയിലൊക്കെ ചുളിവുകൾ വരുന്നതാണ് twitches എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So it is they are not satisfied with the response of the Sharif. So the twitches on their faces indicate that these aliens are not happy with the behavior of the Sharif. Bhavana,
Yes, sir.
please read that paragraph. Then the one who had done all the paragraph.
Then the one who had done all the talking said, I can see you wish to be left alone. It is not our way to force ourselves on people who do not want us. We will respect your privacy and leave. We will not return. We will grid, grid
Girdle,
you. എന്തിട്ടാണ്
girdle.
girdle your world in warning, and none will enter, and your people will never have to leave.
Yes, thank you, Bhavana. Girdle means to tie. Girdle means to tie. കെട്ടുക എന്നാണ് അർത്ഥം. So the person who talked, so there were two people, and we also saw the description of these two aliens. They were dressed in a similar fashion, and they also had the same height. They looked similar. They looked as if they are brothers. So there was one person who was talking all the time. That person said, I understand that you don't want to be disturbed. So we don't force ourselves upon people who don't want us. So we will not force you. If you don't want us, we will not come here. We will respect your privacy. But we will give you a punishment for treating us in this manner. Okay? So what is the punishment that he says? We will girdle your world. We will tie your world in such a way that nobody can come out of your world and nobody can come inside your world. Just like the world will become like a prison. So nowadays we travel in space. People go to the space station. People go to the moon. We have explorations of rockets going into Mars, etc. So all these missions will have to be stopped. We will not be able to even launch a satellite. Okay, so this is the punishment that the aliens are imposing upon the world, the earth itself, for the mistake that is committed by Cameron. So we may think that it is one person's mistake, but Cameron represents the human beings, and because he holds such an important position, his behavior actually affects the entire human race. That is why this aliens, they have punished us Everyone. Every one of us have been punished that they will tie the world. It is as if the world is being made into a prison. ലോകം മൊത്തം ഒരു ജയിൽ പോലെ ആക്കിയതുപോലെ. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടുന്ന് കുറച്ച് വലിയ ജയിലാണെന്ന് മാത്രം. നമുക്ക് ഇവിടുന്ന് പുറത്ത് ഒരു പ്ലാനറ്റിലേക്കോ സ്പേസിലേക്കോ പോകാൻ പറ്റില്ല. സ്പേസിൽ നിന്നും പ്ലാനറ്റിൽ നിന്നും ആർക്കും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും വരാൻ പറ്റില്ല. അപ്പോൾ ഇതാണ് അവർ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ള പണിഷ്മെൻറ്റ്. ഇതിനു വേണ്ടിയാണ് പണിഷ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. ഷെറീഫിൻ്റെ മോശമായിട്ടുള്ള പെരുമാറ്റം കാരണമാണ് അവർ പണിഷ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ അവർ വാക്കുകളിലൊക്കെ വളരെ സോഫ്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്. പക്ഷെ അവരുടെ ആക്ഷൻസൊക്കെ വളരെ സ്ട്രോങ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ആക്ഷൻസ്. അപ്പോൾ ഷെറീഫിൻ്റെത് ഭാഷ വളരെ മോശമാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ അയാൾക്ക് അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു പണിഷ്മെൻറ്റ്, അയാൾക്ക് മാത്രമല്ല ലോകത്തിലുള്ള എല്ലാവർക്കും അതിൻ്റെ പണിഷ്മെൻറ്റ് കിട്ടാം. So that is what this is the punishment that they have given to the world. So this is the punishment. We will girdle your world in mourning. So that is what the narrator told us in the beginning of the story. Story തുടങ്ങുമ്പോൾ കഥ പറയുന്നയാൾ നമ്മളോട് പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു, സ്പേസ് ഷിപ്സ് ഒന്നും ഇനി അങ്ങോട്ടും പോവില്ല, ഒരു സ്പേസ് ഷിപ്പൊന്നും ഇങ്ങോട്ടും വരികയില്ല, because of a mistake that is committed by Cameron. So this is the mistake that Cameron committed, that he behaved in a rude manner to the aliens. And why did he behave in a rude manner? What are the reasons for his behavior, bad behavior? എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് കാമറൂൺ മോശമായിട്ട് പെരുമാറിയത്? I'm waiting for your responses. Why does he behave in a very bad manner?
Cameron busy ആയിരുന്നു.
Exactly, yes, Nanjana, that is right. Cameron was busy and he was working on his income tax form, so therefore he was very irritated. He is basically an irritable person. That is another reason. There is another reason that he behaved in a very bad manner with the aliens. What is that reason? വേറൊരു കാരണം കൂടി ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു മോശമായിട്ട് പെരുമാറിയത്.
ഫോറിനേഴ്സിന് ഇഷ്ടമല്ല.
Exactly, yes, Anjana, that is right. Because he doesn't like foreigners and he thinks that these people are foreigners. They are actually not foreigners, they are aliens. അവർ മറ്റ് പ്ലാനറ്റ് വന്നിട്ടുള്ളവരാണ്. പക്ഷെ അയാൾ വിചാരിക്കുന്നത് ഇവർ വേറെ രാജ്യക്കാരാണ്. So this is the mistake that he commits. He thinks that these people are foreigners and he misbehaves with them. ഫോറിനേഴ്സിന് ഇഷ്ടമല്ല, ഫോറിനേഴ്സ് ആണെന്ന് തെറ്റിദ്ധരിച്ചാണ് അവരോട് പെരുമാറുന്നത്. ബട്ട് ദേ ആർ ആക്ച്വലി നോട്ട് ഫോറിനേഴ്സ്, they are aliens. So these are the two reasons. One reason is that he is very irritable and he was working with his income tax forms. He was busy with his income tax forms. The second reason is that he misunderstood these visitors. These visitors were misunderstood by Cameron to be foreigners, whereas actually they were aliens. So that is why he got this, or rather we got this punishment. So they turn and leave, and he understands that everything that they said was true. Okay. Drishya Dasan.
Yes, sir.
Please read.
They turned and left, and I just know that everything they said was true. I was listening to They you see which cameraman was in because he was busy thinking of his income tax and when they left I got my voice back too late. I screamed cameraman for good
Cameroon.
Cameroon said good sack there from space. Why did you send them away from space? He started at me.
Okay. Thank you, Drishya.
Thank you.
So they turn and leave. So these people they turn this turn out from the room and they leave. And the narrator, I എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് narrator ആണ്. I is always the narrator. I is the narrator who is the deputy sheriff of the city. And I എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് narrator ആണ്. So he understands that the narrator understands that everything that they said was true because he was listening to them and he also had seen that they came in a flying saucer, and so he understands that they are from space. So he was listening. The narrator was listening to them. Cameroon wasn't listening. So that is the meaning of this phrase. I was listening to them, you see, which Cameroon wasn't. So this is I will copy that for you so that you understand how it works, how this sentence works. So it is a very peculiar construction. So what is the meaning of this sentence? I was listening to them, you see, which Cameroon wasn't. Yes. Rude means Abhamadya. Yeah. Yes. Yes, Fatima, that is right. That is the meaning of rude. So he was behaving in a very rude manner. So I was listening. I know another narrator. He was listening to them. But Cameroon, which Cameroon wasn't? എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താണ്? What is the meaning of this sentence? It is not very complex. It's a very simple thing. What is the meaning of this? Okay. Cameroon ഇല്ലാതിരുന്ന ഞാൻ അവരെ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. Cameroon ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നില്ല, പക്ഷെ ഞാൻ ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുന്നുണ്ടായിരുന്നു എന്നാണ്. That is the meaning of that sentence. I was listening to them. UC is set for emphasis. നമ്മളെന്തെങ്കിലും UC എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിലായോ എന്ന് പറയുന്നതാണ്. So that is the meaning of UC. നിങ്ങൾ കാണുന്നുണ്ടോ എന്ന അർത്ഥത്തിലല്ല. UC is just for emphasis. ഇത് പറയുന്നതിൻ്റെ ഒരു എംഫസിസ്, നമ്മളോടൊരു കൺഫർമേഷൻ ചോദിക്കുന്നത് പോലെ. ഡു യു സി, യു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് എന്നൊക്കെ ചോദിക്കും. ഡു യു അണ്ടർസ്റ്റാൻഡ് നമ്മളോട്, റീഡറോടുള്ള ഒരു കൺഫർമേഷൻ. So I was listening, whereas Cameroon was not listening. So why wasn't he listening? Because he was busy with his income tax forms. And when they left, look at this sentence. When they left, I got my voice back. അപ്പോൾ അതുവരെ വോയിസ് എവിടെ പോയിരിക്കുന്നു? ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കാൻ പോയതാണോ? അവർ പോയപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ വോയിസ് തിരിച്ചു വന്നു. വോയിസ് എവിടെ പോയി?
പേടിച്ച കാരണം സൗണ്ട് ഒന്നും പുറത്തു വന്നിരുന്നില്ല.
Exactly, that's right, Nandana. Because he was so scared, because he was so afraid, his voice did not come out of his mouth. And throughout the time that the aliens were in the room, he was continued to be scared because he was seeing aliens for the first time. So he was so scared that he lost his voice until they went out of the room. അവർ മുറിയിൽ നിന്ന് പുറത്തിറങ്ങുന്നത് വരെ ഇയാളുടെ ശബ്ദം പുറത്തു വന്നത്. So when they left, when they got out of the room, he got his voice back and he screamed means shouted. Okay, screamed, yelled. So they all have similar meaning. Screamed or yelled means shouted. Yes, yes, പേടിച്ചു. So because he was scared, he did not get the uh, he did not have the voice. But when they left, he got his voice back, and then he started shouting. Very good. Yes. Then he told Cameron. He shouted to Cameron that these people are from space. They are not. They are not from another country, but they are from a different planet. So he asks them, "Why did you send them away?" And then he says, "From space." So he is confused. Cameron actually, so this response from Cameron from space എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു exclamation mark. So there is the surprise in exactly shouted means screamed means shouted. നിലവിളിച്ചു എന്ന്. Yes, Fatima. Thank you for those translations. Very good. So he is asking from space. That surprise is there. The exclamation mark indicates the surprise in his voice. So he does not realize that they are from space. So that is what we understand. Why doesn't he understand? Because he has not listened properly. He has not listened to what the aliens had told him, and therefore he does not understand that they are from a different planet. And what does he do? He stares. So to stare at somebody, stare means തുറിച്ചു നോക്കുക. Okay? Stare. He stared at me. Who stared at me? The Cameroon stared at me. Cameroon stared at whom? Who is me? Who is me here? Me എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ആരാണ്?
Narrator.
Exactly. Yes, Hannah. It is the narrator. The narrator is the deputy sheriff. So the Cameroon stares at the narrator. Okay. And now the narrator wants to make him understand. So he still doesn't, the sheriff still doesn't understand. Cameroon still does not understand that they are aliens. അപ്പോൾ അയാൾക്കൊന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കി കൊടുക്കണ്ടേ ഇവർ ഏലിയൻസ് ആണെന്നുള്ളത്. അപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെ മനസ്സിലാക്കി കൊടുക്കും? അത് അവർ മുറിയിൽ നിന്ന് പുറത്തിറങ്ങി പോയി കഴിയുമ്പോൾ അവർ പോകുന്നത് കാണിച്ചു കൊടുക്കും. So that is how he is going to convince him. That is how he is going to make him understand that they are aliens. അപ്പോൾ അത് അങ്ങനെയാണ് അവർ ഏലിയൻസ് ആണെന്നുള്ളത് ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ടു മേക്ക് ദിസ് foolish Cameron understand. So this is how he is going to do it. Neeraja.
Sir.
Please read that.
I looked and pulled him to window. When he say what was going on outside the window, the breath went out of him. Those two men were getting into the flying circle, and the saucer rather large, round, shiny, and powerful. Then it looked like a shooting star, slowly fading out. And I said, "Sheriff, why did you send them away? They had to see the president. Now they will never come back."
Very good. Thank you, Neeraja.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, stare എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഉറ്റുനോക്കുക, തുറച്ചു നോക്കുക. Thank you, Fatima, for those translations. Very good. So he stares at him and he shouts at him, and he makes the sheriff understand that these people are aliens. അപ്പോൾ അയാൾക്ക് കാണിച്ചു കൊടുത്തു, അയാൾക്ക് ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കാണിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുകയാണ് these people are aliens. How does he do it? He pulls him to the window. അയാളെ വലിച്ച് ജനലിൻ്റെ അവിടേക്ക് കൊണ്ടുപോവാണ്. So he brings him to the window and makes him look out of the window. And when Cameron saw what was happening outside the window, the breath went out of him. So now The breath went out of Cameroon. What is the meaning of the breath went out of him? ശ്വാസം പോയി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എപ്പോഴും ശ്വാസം പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയല്ലേ നമ്മുടെ ഉള്ളിൽ നിന്ന്. What is the meaning of this phrase? The breath went out of him.
ജനാലക്കോടെ ആ ഫ്ലൈയിങ് സോസർ എല്ലാം കാണുമ്പോ അയാള് പെട്ടെന്ന് എങ്ങനെ ഞെട്ടി നിക്കാന്നുള്ളതില്.
That is right, Danya. He was shocked. ഞെട്ടിപ്പോയി, അയാൾ സ്തബ്ധനായി എന്നുള്ളതാണ്. ദ ബ്രെത്ത് വെന്റ് ഔട്ട് ഹിം. ശ്വാസം നിലച്ചു പോകുന്ന അവസ്ഥ നമുക്ക് ഉണ്ടാകുന്നത് എപ്പോഴാണ്? നമ്മൾ ഭയങ്കരമായിട്ട് പേടിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ്. So the person who was so calm and so powerful suddenly becomes so afraid because now he understands that these people are aliens. അവർ ഈ ഫ്ലൈയിങ് സോസറിനകത്ത് കയറി പോകുന്നതൊക്കെ കാണുമ്പോൾ he understands that these people are aliens. ഇയാൾ പറഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ വിശ്വാസമായില്ല, പക്ഷെ കണ്ടപ്പോൾ വിശ്വാസമായി. And these people were getting into the flying saucer and it went off like പെട്ടെന്ന് ഒരു ഷൂട്ടിംഗ് സ്റ്റാർ പോലെ പെട്ടെന്ന് അത് മുകളിലേക്ക് പോവുകയും ചെയ്തു, ഒരു ശബ്ദമില്ല. So this is their vehicle, and seeing this people getting into the vehicle and the vehicle shooting off, the sheriff was so shocked that the breath went out of him. And then the narrator asks him, why did you send them away? Why did you misbehave with them? So they had come with a purpose. They wanted us to join their organization. They wanted to see the president. So you should have allowed them to see the president. So now they will never come back, and you will also be not able to go out into space. So why did you do this? എന്ന് ഇയാളോട് ചോദിക്കാം. ഇത് ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ലായിരുന്നു. So why did you do this? Why did you send them away? They wanted to see the president. But now that you have not permitted them, now that you have misbehaved with them, they will never come back. So why did you do this? Abinya. Abinya PS. Okay, I'll mark her as absent. Okay, next person. Gitu PS.
Sir.
Please read.
Cameron said, I thought they were foreigners and they talked funny and looked Italian. I thought they were Italian. How could they be Italian? They said they were from the planet Venus. I heard them. They called it the Watery Place or something. You know, Venus has a lot of water on it.
Okay. So he asks him, the narrator asks him, see, why did you misbehave with these aliens? They had come with a particular aim. They had a purpose. They wanted to meet the president. They wanted to discuss with the leaders. They wanted us to join their organization. So you should have behaved better with them. So why did you behave in a very bad manner? So Cameron responds. He gives the answer. He gives the reason why he misbehaved. Because he says, I thought they were foreigners. So this is very clear. He thinks that they were foreigners, and the way in which they talked the language, they talked funnily. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഭാഷ അറിയാത്തവർ, ഇപ്പോൾ മലയാളം അറിയാത്ത ആരെങ്കിലും മലയാളം സംസാരിക്കാൻ ശ്രമിച്ചാൽ ഒരു ശബ്ദ വോയിസിലൊരു പ്രത്യേകതയുണ്ട്. അറിയാത്ത ഒരാൾ മലയാളം സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്, അറിയുന്ന ഒരാൾ മലയാളം മാതൃഭാഷയായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരാൾ സംസാരിക്കുന്നത് തമ്മിൽ വ്യത്യാസം ഉണ്ടാവില്ലേ? മലയാളം ഒരാൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നതും മാതൃഭാഷ മലയാളമായിട്ടുള്ള ആൾ സംസാരിക്കുന്നതും തമ്മിൽ വ്യത്യാസം ഉണ്ടാവില്ലേ?
Yes, sir.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, Danya. Thank you, Sandra, for the response. So here, similarly, these people, yes, Fatima. So here, these people also have a different. അപ്പോൾ ഈ സ്പോക്ക് ഫണ്ണിലി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഈസ് ടോക്കിംഗ് അബൌട്ട് ദ ആക്സെൻറ്റ്. അപ്പോൾ ആ സംസാരിക്കുന്ന ശൈലി, അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ആക്സെൻറ്റ് എന്ന് ഇംഗ്ലീഷിൽ പറയുന്നത്. So there is a difference in accent if you have learned a language and if you are not an expert in that language. So that is why he says that they talked funnily, in a funny manner. And their appearance, so they also did not look like Americans. They looked like people from some other country. They were dressed like city guys. They were dressed like they were wearing suits and pants, but their appearance was that their facial appearance was that of people from some other country. For example, Italy. So Italian means they were people from Italy. So he thinks or misunderstands that they were Italian. So that's why he says, I thought they were Italian. So the narrator says, why did you think like that? What was the reason for you to think like that? Because അവർ മറച്ചു വെച്ചിട്ടൊന്നുമില്ല. If they had hidden any fact, then you could make a misjudgment. But they did not hide anything. They had openly told the sheriff that they were from Venus. They said that we are from the watery place that you call Venus. So I heard them. Cameron did not hear because he was not listening properly. So that is why he says, the narrator says, I heard them. Because Cameron did not hear, not because he has any hearing problem, but because he was not listening properly. And they called it the watery place. And all scientists believe that Venus has a lot of water in it. So, you know what is Venus? What is the Malayalam for the planet Venus? Venus in Malayalam എന്താണ് പറയാൻ?
Shukran.
Yes, that's right. Yes, Danya, Sahala, Sahatira, Anjana. Yes, thank you for those responses. Shukran തന്നെയാണ്. So it is a planet which is believed to have a lot of water. So that is why they called it the watery place. Yes, Fatima. Shukran Danya. Yes. So this is how they described their place. That is, they called it the watery place. So that is why the story is also titled the watery place. അവരങ്ങനെ ഡിസ്ക്രൈബ് ചെയ്തതുകൊണ്ടാണ് കഥയ്ക്കും ഒരു ശീർഷകമായിട്ട് ദ വാട്ടറി പ്ലേസ് എന്ന് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുള്ളത്. Because they call it the watery place because it is a place which is believed, it is a planet which is believed to have a lot of water. So we come to the last part of the story. I request Jilsha to read that. Jilsha Kaya.
Yes, sir. But you see, it was just an error. A stupid error, the kind anyone could make. Only now, Earth is never going to have space travel and or have another Venusian
Venusian.
visitors. Venetian visitors that fool Cameron and his income tax because he whispered Venus when they talked about the Watery Place. I thought they meant Venice.
Thank you, Jilsha. So he says it was just an error. What is an error? Error is just a mistake. So error is another word for a mistake. So it was a mistake that he made, a stupid error, a foolish error that anyone can make. So now the problem is that because of the mistake that Cameron made, what was the mistake that he made? He thought that they were foreigners. That's the mistake. So because of this mistake, the whole earth is suffering. Because of one person's mistake, the whole humanity, the entire humanity is suffering because of one person's mistake. And what will happen? Nobody will be able to go into space, and no Venusian. See, Venusian, there is a term Venusian. Venusian is a person from Venus. A person from Mars is called a Martian. Okay. A person from Earth is called a terrestrian. Okay. Terra means Earth. So a person from Earth is called a terrestrian. A person from India is called an Indian. Okay, a person from Japan is called a Japanese. So like that, a person from Venus is called a Venusian. So no Venusian will never ever visit us again in future because they are going to close. They are going to create some imaginary barrier. So they are going to create an imaginary barrier which will prevent any object from space into coming into Earth, and also from anybody or anything from the Earth from going out into space. So we will be sort of prisoned. Yes, Mars Chovian. Yes, thank you, Fatima. So Mars is also another planet where we have got some expeditions. Okay. മാർസിലേക്ക് നമ്മൾ വിട്ട ഒരു പേടകമുണ്ടല്ലോ, അതിൻ്റെ പേരെന്താണെന്ന് അറിയാം? ഇന്ത്യ മാർസിലേക്ക് ഒരു പേടകമൊക്കെ അയച്ചു. Does anyone remember that? That is right. Yes, exactly. Yes, Sahila. Very good. Full points for you. Full points for that answer. It is Mangalyaan. Because it is called Mangal in Hindi. ചൊവ്വയ്ക്ക് മംഗൾ എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. So that is why, exactly, yes, Fatima, Mangalyaan then. Very good. So he says, no Venusian will come here in future. Why? Because of that fool Cameron and his income tax. So why did all this happen? ഇതെല്ലാം സംഭവിക്കാൻ കാരണം എന്താണ്? He was busy with his income tax forms. Because he was busy, he was angry. And because he was busy and angry, he was not listening properly. And because he was not listening properly, he was not able to understand that they are aliens. See how this kind of one problem leading to another, like we call in chemistry a chain reaction. Have you heard of chain reaction in chemistry? Yes, barrier no തടസ്സമാണ്. So chain reaction is actually one problem leading into another problem. Okay, so what is this basic problem? Basic problem of Cameron is that he is irritable. So he was irritable, he gets angry very fast. So that's the result of that quality. Then he was busy with his income tax forms, and therefore he got more angry. So because he was more angry and more irritable and busy, he was not listening properly. They look at this reaction, one reaction leading into another. So because he was not listening properly, he did not hear them telling that they are from Venus. They said it, but he did not hear. So that is the result of his being not listening. So because he did not understand that they are from an aliens, he misbehaves with them. He shouts at them. So this is how we become mostly foolish in our behavior. So that is why the narrator calls Cameroon a fool. And then he says, that is the last paragraph is the most tricky thing, because he whispered. Here is Cameroon. He whispered, Venus. Is it Venus? So there is that surprise. When he says Venus, to the exclamation mark, that indicates the surprise in him, because he misunderstood this Venus to be Venice. Have you heard of Venice? Yes, where is it? Venice എവിടെയുള്ള സ്ഥലം അറിയോ? Exactly, Deepthi, that is right. Venice is a place in Italy. That is right. So it is a place in Italy. That is why he mistakes them to be Italians. അപ്പോൾ അയാൾ കേട്ടതിൻ്റെ പ്രശ്നമാണ്. വെനീസ് എന്നവർ പറഞ്ഞു, ഇയാൾ കേൾക്കുകയും ചെയ്തു. പക്ഷെ ഇയാൾ കേട്ടത് അല്ല, വീനസ് എന്നവർ പറഞ്ഞു, പക്ഷെ ഇയാൾ കേട്ടത് വെനീസ് എന്നാണ്. So there is only a small difference in pronunciation between Venus and Venice. So Venice, as we know, is also a place which has a lot of water. Watery place എന്നും പറഞ്ഞു, വീനസ് എന്നും പറഞ്ഞു. അപ്പോൾ അയാൾക്ക് വിചാരിച്ചു വെനീസ് ആയിരിക്കുന്നു. വെനീസ് is also considered to be a place which has a lot of water. We have also a place in our land, in our state, which is called Venice of the East. Do you know which place is it?
Kuttanadu.
Exactly. It is Aleppi, which consists of Kuttanad, which is called the Venice of the Venus of the East, Venice of the East. Venice of the East. It is called the Venice of the East. Okay. So this place, that is Aleppi, which is called the Venice of the East, because it also has a lot of waterways. ഒരുപാട് ജലപാതകളുള്ള ഒരു സ്ഥലമാണ് ആലപ്പുഴ. ഒരുപാട് സ്ഥലത്തേക്ക് ബോട്ടിലൂടെ നമുക്ക് സഞ്ചരിച്ചെത്താൻ പറ്റും. റോഡുകളെക്കാളും കൂടുതൽ ജലപാതകളുള്ള സ്ഥലമായതുകൊണ്ട് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് കോൾഡ് വെനീസ് ഓഫ് ദ ഈസ്റ്റ്. സോ ഒരുപാട് കായലുകളും പുഴകളും ഒക്കെ ഉള്ള ഒരു സ്ഥലമാണ്. സോ there are also a lot of opportunities for boat traveling. So if you are interested in traveling in boats, Aleppi is a place that we have to visit. There are all, especially in places like Tannad, and there is another place called Kumarakam. Okay, so where we have opportunities for traveling in boats and visiting places by sitting in the boats itself. So that is why Aleppi is called the Venice of the East, because Venice is a place in Italy which has lot of waterways. Okay, waterways എന്നാണ് നമ്മൾ അതിനെ പറയാ. Okay, waterways. അത് കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ വെനീസ് എന്നാണ്. കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ ശുക്രൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ വീനസ്. അത് ഞാൻ നേരത്തെ തെറ്റിയടിച്ചതാണ്, അതാണ് അത് ട്രാൻസ്ലേറ്റ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ വന്നത്. ഫാത്തിമ, കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ വെനീസ് എന്നാണ് ആലപ്പുഴ അറിയപ്പെടുന്നത്. കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ വെനീസ്, കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ വീനസ് അല്ല, കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ വെനീസാണ്. കിഴക്കിൻ്റെ വെനീസ് എന്നാണ് ആലപ്പുഴ അറിയപ്പെടുന്നത്. This is the actual word which I actually missed. ഞാൻ ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്തപ്പോൾ തെറ്റിയതാണ്. വെനീസ് ഓഫ് ദ ഈസ്റ്റ് എന്നാണ്. ഓക്കെ, വാട്ടർവേസ്. So we have a jalamargangal, exactly. To travel, you have a lot of boats to travel. And in Venice, they have a special kind of boats which are very famous. They are called gondolas. Okay, gondolas are the kind of boats that you find in Venice in Italy. നമ്മുടെ നാട്ടിൽ വഞ്ചികളൊക്കെ ഉള്ളതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവരുടെ നാട്ടിലുള്ള ഒരു പ്രത്യേകതരം വഞ്ചിയാണ് ഗൊണ്ടോള. ഗൊണ്ടോളാസ് ആർ പോപ്പുലർ ടു ബി vehicles to travel on water. So this is what he mistakes. So the mistake is caused by a problem of maybe the pronunciation of these aliens and also the improper listening of Cameron, because he was busy and he was very angry. So that is why he makes these mistakes. So he says, he makes it very clear that when they talked about the watery place, I thought that they meant Venice. So because of this mistake, we lost opportunity to visit other places. Okay, so that brings us to the end of this story. Is it a very interesting story? Do you think that it is very interesting? Did you like the story? I hope you liked the story. Thank you, Fatima, for the response. Now we move on to learning the new words that have come. Yes, thank you, Nandana, Archana, Anjana. Thank you for those. Nanda Krishna, very nice. Thank you for those response. Niranjana, very good. Sandra, yes, thank you. Yes, Aisha, Anaka, Dilsha, Nandana, KP, Ashwati, Alina, Deepti, Vismaya, Sanju, Shilpa, Anamika, Krishnapriya, Sharmili, Aishwarya, Bhavana, Aishwarya Satyan, very nice. So many people. Alina KS, Vinisha, Nandana, Amritananda CJ, Aparna PS. Very good. So many people responding. Very nice. It is nice to see you all respond. Very good. Thank you for those responses. Your responses actually motivate me to speak also. I like people when you respond. So here now we go on to building our vocabulary. Okay, so that is learning words. Learning words is nothing but building our vocabulary. Vocabulary means the collection of words that we have in our mind. So we can increase our word power by learning at least one word every day. So when we learn such new passages, when we read such new passages, we will exactly, Fatima, that is Padavali, Padasambat, exactly. That is the exact Malayalam. She is very good in finding out translations. Very nice. Okay, it is the collection of words. Padasambat. നമുക്ക് എത്രത്തോളം പദസമ്പത്തുണ്ട്, എത്ര വാക്കുകൾ നമുക്കറിയാം, അതിനെയാണ് നമ്മുടെ വൊക്കാബുലറി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. So you can increase your vocabulary by, so even in this story we came across many new words. We learned many new words, and if you look at those words, these words actually enrich our language. So when you learn a new word, we are actually becoming more rich in our use of language. So let us look at some of these words that we have learned in this module. Fill in the blanks using the correct form of the words or phrases that you learned in the glossary. Okay, many space missions sent from the Earth were in search of ഭൂമിയിൽ നിന്ന് പല സ്പേസ് മിഷൻസ്. എക്സാക്ട്ലി, യെസ് അഞ്ജന, in search of extraterrestrials. Very good. What is the other word for extraterrestrials? എക്സ്ട്രാടെറസ്ട്രിയൽസിന് വേണ്ടിയുള്ള അത് വേറൊരു വാക്ക് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞത്, ചെറിയ വാക്ക്,
aliens.
That's right, exactly, Hannah. Aliens, yes, Nandana. So both can be used. We can use extraterrestrials and aliens. അത് ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒന്ന് എഴുതുക. So we are in search of extraterrestrials or we are in search of aliens. Yes, Fatima. Very good. Yes, Jimsha, that's right. Aliens. Aliens, extraterrestrials. They are all correct answers. Jewelers dash gold to test its purity. So we had learnt a word which meant measure. Measure. Measure purity എന്നുള്ള അർത്ഥത്തിൽ. That's right. Yes. Yes, Hana, yes, Archana, Anandana, Deepthi, so many people have written assay. Assay. Dwellers assay gold to test its purity. Remember, it is not essay, ESSAY, ASSAY. So that is the only difference in spelling, but there is a lot of difference in meaning. Assay means to measure the purity of gold or such metals. So jewelers assay gold to test its purity. Aliens are said to be traveling in
Fly saucer.
Yes, Hana, that's right. Nanjana, Nandana, Deepthi, so many people have written. Aparna, Alina, wonderful. So many people have written. Adira Kaya, very good. So many people have written. Thank you. Thank you for those responses. Deepthi, Sharmili, Niranjana, very nice. Flying saucers, exactly. Parkam Taligal. Aliens are said to be traveling in flying saucers. The Princess Snow White had a fair color എന്നുള്ള അർത്ഥത്തിൽ ഒരു വാക്കുണ്ട് നമുക്കതിൽ. It also begins with C. Exactly, Nandana. It is complexion. Complexion, exactly. Anjana, Sanju, Deepthi. Yes, that is right. It is complexion. Complexion is color of the skin. Color of the skin എന്നുള്ള അർത്ഥത്തിലാണ്. Yes, Aparna. Yes, Niranjana. It is complexion. Complexion means color of the skin. So the Princess Snow White had a fair complexion. Yes, Fatima, it is complexion. Very good, Jilsha. Complexion. Complexion means color of the skin. Okay, next one is Karun lives in an dash village away from the city. Karun lives in an dash village away from the city. Very good. So many responses are coming. Anjana, Nandana, Aparna, Deepthi, Jyotika, Nandakrishna, Ashwati, Aishwarya, Hana, Alina, Jilsha, Ranjana, Sharmili, Christina. Wonderful. Very nice. So I can see so many people. Krishna Priya, Alina, Archana, Christina. Yes. Atulya. It's good to see that so many people. Yes, Fatima, it is Ochapatada or lonely. There is another word. These all words have same meaning. Ochapatada, only, secluded. They all have the same meaning. So Karun lives in an isolated village away from the city. Immature people dash when they face challenges. Immature people dash when they face challenges. ദേഷ്യം വരിക എന്നുള്ള അർത്ഥത്തിലൊരു ഫ്രേസ് നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. വെരി നൈസ്. Immature people go to pieces. Exactly. Anjana, Nandana, Aparna. Very good. Go to pieces. Go to pieces. Very good. Immature people go to pieces. Very nice. The Sharif went to pieces. So to go to pieces. Very nice. Deepthi, Fatima, Nandakrishna, Aishwarya, Satya, Niranjana, Anamika, Tanya, Aishwarya, Priya, Rashwati, Vivi. Very nice. It is go to pieces. So we learned the phrase Sharif went to pieces. So it is actually the past tense of go to pieces. So go to pieces means to become extremely angry. Okay. So that's the meaning of go to pieces. Very good, Ashwati. The next one, the answer is a leather belt was girdled around the dog's neck. leather belt was girdled. Yes, Anjana, it is girdled. Girdled. Girdled round. Okay, girdled around. Because it is past tense. Was it should be in past. Yes, Deepthi. It should be. Yes, Archana, Leena, so many people have responded. Girdled എന്നാണ് വേണ്ടത്. Past tense ആയതുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു D കൂടെ നമ്മൾ ചേർക്കും. That's all. So many people have responded, beginning with amazing. So many. Ashwati, Vivi, Fatima, Nandana, Anjana, Anaga, Aparna PS, Nandana PS, Aishwarya Priya, Jilsha, KR, Aishwarya, Satya, Niranjana, Amrita Nandana, Amrita Nanda, Deepthi, Archana, Neena, Sharmilesh, Jilsha, Shilpa, Fatima. Yes. കെട്ടപ്പെടുക. ഓക്കെ, ഗേർഡിൽഡ്. ഇവിടെ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് അബൌട്ട് ദ സംതിങ് വിച്ച് ഇസ് ടൈഡ് അറൗണ്ട് ദ നെക്ക്. വെരി ഗുഡ്. താങ്ക് യു ഫാത്തിമ ഫോർ ദോസ് ട്രാൻസ്ലേഷൻസ്. So these are some of the new words that we learned in this module. So I think we will take up the next activity in the next class. So that's it for today. We conclude the class now. Very nice talking to you all. So we continue with this in the next class. Thank you for joining. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.